Welcome to the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars series for the penultimate round, coming to you from Ipswich in Queensland. We're just 1 hour out of Brisbane, Tony, and I'm excited. This is really going to set some people up for a championship fight.
The sun is shining, the fans on the hill are keen. Let's get into some tyre frying action.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see the qualifying session we had on Saturday. A few people didn't quite make it in there, but they managed to battle themselves into that top 32. But let's have a look at the Zoo Performance Pro-Am Championship as it stands right now.
Jordan Sanderson sitting on top position, 280 points. Sam Mudge just behind, and Kieran Ratcliffe in third place, equal 264 points.
Mate, that is very tough at the front. 264 for second and third. I cannot wait to see how it unfolds today. It's very important there for Ratcliffe and Mudge to fight their way through this one. And the Hi-Tec Oils Pro Championship points, Jordan Sanderson also leading that by a slim 4-point margin over Roger Ianson. Patrick Barley in third, who's had that #1 podium down in Calder Park. And Brodie Marr, the defending champion, well, he's in fourth position and fighting back after round one, where he had some really big mechanical failures there and didn't manage to put too many points on the board. We caught up with Brodie earlier to find out how his fight back is going.
I'm joined here with 2022 season champion Brodie Marr. What an awesome season it was last year. The start of this season a little bit more challenging, mate. Talk us through the start of your campaign.
This year's been the exact polar opposite. First round we had a diff failure and then a throttle body failure, and didn't even get out there for the competition. So been clawing back points, a couple of good podiums, Calder and then last round at Winton. And yeah, look, I'm feeling good. The car's been good. We've had a few mechanical dramas. Like at Calder, I made a bit of a mistake in the wet. I put myself out, but still third was good. Round 3 at Winton, we had a couple of car dramas with the front end as well. Once got a competition, and up third. Sick of third. Got 3 first place qualifyings in a row. So the car is definitely working good when it's working. I just need, pull my shit together pretty much.
Well, he speaks about the #1 qualifying there, Brodie. He's been so consistent at that. And to be consistent, you need to lay down a line that the judges have requested and shown them out there, Tony. Let's have a look at the track preview.
Yeah, it's out of the front gate. First, second, third gear. Midline through the first apex of the corner, pushing wide out to the side. A strong flick back through the dip down that mid part of the... It's a bit hard to see the dip there, but it is a big elevation change. And then another switch back around that last corner, flat out on the gas, nice and wide near the Hi-Tec Oil signs, and across the finish line for the perfect lap.
And what I love about Queensland Raceway is where we have that layout, the crowd are right against the fence, all the smoke, all the noise, the smell of the petrol, it's all there. Let's have a look at some of our highlights from our top 24 in the Hi-Tec Oils Pro category as they head out on track.
First up in the battle was Warwick Hill taking on Glenn Omerod. Warwick battling with a couple of car issues. Glenn Omerod sneaks through with the win.
Well, Benny Hodges was sharing cars with Saxon Moyes, who had a gearbox failure, so that car doing double duties and did really well in this top 24.
Gricey out on track as well, taking on Shembry for an ultimate smoke show with those 2 big high horsepower cars.
It was great to have Joel Dimmick back at the Hi-Tec Drift All-Star Series as well. And we have a look at our top 16. Brodie Marr takes on a returning Glenn Omerod, who's looking for a win. Ben Barnes will take on Mark McTernan, Aaron Dewar and Kurt Dunn, and Philip Silk will take on Derek Newsom.
On the other side of the battle tree, we've got Roger Ianson taking on Scott Shembry. Patrick Barley's got Chris Sadler, James Abbott versus Saxon Moyes, and Jordan Sanderson and Benny Mia.
Let's get on with our first top 16 battle here in the Hi-Tec Oils Pro category, and Brodie Marr and Glenn Omerod. Now, Glenn Omerod, he's been so consistent. He's missed 2 rounds of racing with major upgrades to that car. Brodie Marr, though, after round 1, it's just got better and better, and look at him take off. He's got the new sponsor on board this weekend, and the SR is singing as he goes through turn #1. Not all the way out there on the outer clipping zone, but he's on the power. Huge slide as he goes into turn 2, comes over the hill there, sets it up, 3-wheeling as he goes through, up in the air, high fives the crowd. Final corner, he's opened up that gap on Glenn Omerod, and well, Omerod just doing everything he can to keep that proximity, but he wasn't quite there for me, so I think it's a big advantage now to Brodie Marr as we check out the replay.
Yeah, look, Brodie gets away from the start line absolutely rapidly. Now, we know that Glenn Omerod's been nursing a couple little issues with his 2J. They've had some oiling dramas, so I think maybe he might have hesitated just a touch. But look, he fights back through the second part of the lap, closing the gap. And look, it's not bad overall, but Brodie was just so dominant off the start line.
And we know you're a lot more comfortable in the lead position, especially if you're not 100% with the mechanics of the car. Glenn Omerod sets himself up nicely right down the edge of the track as well. A big lot of handbrake there to set the car out. And Brodie Marr probably a little bit slower than what he's comfortable with in the car. Maybe just a touch of dirt there for Glenn Omerod. transitions the car back, but Brodie Maher is right there alongside of him. Not a whole lot of smoke there from Glenn Ormerod, so I think Brodie Maher's probably getting a little bit of a free pass in that respect, but there's a little bit of a bobble there from Glenn Ormerod, and Brodie Maher just straightens up for a moment. I think that may have been caused by the lead car, and we'll see how the judges see that one.
Yeah, look, you've got both drivers doing different things on their start. They've got to be steady. You know, there's a couple of things you can pick on left and right, but look, Brodie aggressive in the chase. You can see Glenn Ormerod's car right there. The proximity through the mid part of that lap looks slightly better in Brodie's favour. We'll see what the judges say, but that's an impressive chase run by Brodie Maher.
I'll tell you what, Glenn Ormerod does killer lead runs, though. There was nothing wrong with that one. Here we go, one more time. They're going to send him again. Brodie Maher now is going to be the lead out in a one more time between these two champions. Glenn Ormerod, he hasn't taken home a pro championship before, but he's definitely been on the podium many times, and Brodie Maher just doing what he does. Another clinical run, the wheel just up in the air as they go around turn number 2 into the final corner. Now, Glenn Ormerod, I think, has not let him get away as much this time. He's been a lot more aggressive, and look how close he is coming out of the final corner.
Very, very strong battle this time. Yeah, Brodie didn't quite get away as much as in the first part of the battle. It's all going to be down to Glenn Ormerod's lead and just how close Brodie can chase, because at the moment, this was a very impressive showing from Glenn Ormerod. But again, Brodie, really, really strong lead run.
You're not going to make the same mistake twice. Let's have a look as Glenn Ormerod leads us out. A lot more speed into that one. Still a little bit of handbrake, and he pushes it out wide, not all the way to the edge of the track. I think this is a cleaner lead run from Glenn Ormerod. This one's going to be close. Brodie Maher doing a little bit more work to try and get that proximity. Throws the angle on as they come out of turn number 2. This time, there is no little bobble there from Brodie Maher at all. He is right beside him in the smoke screen, and they are door to door. They even make a little bit of contact. Was it before or after the finish line? Well, we're not the judges. That's the best part about standing up here, is we do not have to make that decision. We'll check out the Trias replay.
Let's have a look at what's happened in the second part of this lap. Brodie's chasing very, very aggressively, but it looks like maybe Glenn's just come out of the drift coming over the finish line, and Brodie's made contact. He was predicting him to pull away coming over the finish line.
Yeah, maybe something happened with that mechanical stuff. Let's move on to our next battle as we see Ben Barnes take on Mark McTernan in the chase. And Mark McTernan really wide. I think he managed to stay on the bitumen there, though, but it was a late entry into this drift, and Ben Barnes will have a real advantage, though, as he comes through turn number 2. Nice job. Leaves a little bit of room out of the ripple strip so the chase driver can really put the nose into there. Mark McTernan has to cut the corner to try and make that proximity up, and look, a big advantage to Ben Barnes at the moment in that lead position.
Yeah, we'll check out the Trias replay here. Ben Barnes piloting this car for the first time in the Hi-Tec series. It's a brand new build, and he's already looking really comfortable in this orange S13. Very, very solid. Obviously, Mark McTernan's got a lot of work to do to play catch up. He's going to have a lot of work to do on his lead run, but Benny Barnes looking really, really strong. Very demanding front position.
Mark McTernan didn't look like he got the car set up last time, and he throws it in with huge angle with that Scando as he comes in turn number 1 and slows the car down a lot.
Oh.
Ben Barnes comes in aggressively and looks like he's spun out there on turn number 1. And now it's going to be a decision from the judges is what caused that. Was it caused by the lead driver or not? As Mark McTernan will finish the drift off. I mean, he probably can hear there's no car beside him, but he really needs to finish this run strong, because we're going to have to dissect this replay, Tony, to see what we think happened throughout there, because a lot of tyre smoke, but very aggressive Scando into that first corner and a lot of angle, which can wash off so much speed.
Yeah, that's it. It was a really big flick to angle, and on that part of the circuit, it does slow down your overall momentum a little bit. Benny Barnes has gone to chase as hard as he can, knowing that Mark's going to be there, and then, yeah, look, maybe that's exactly where the judges can see. They're right at that part of the track, so we'll let them make the call, but both drivers doing everything they can to get a win.
Aaron Dewar back, the man with the luscious mullet, and look at him lead out over Kurt Dunn, who's going in both Pro-Am and Pro this weekend. And look at them, he just slips it into the fog cog, and the tyres go up in smoke for Aaron Dewar. It's just a moment there. It's uncharacteristic for him to get off the go pedal, but look how quick the car is. So much mechanical grip for Dewar. The S14 just goes around in the lead run, and he goes out of sight now from our camera angle. You cannot see a thing. Kurt Dunn doing everything he can in the poor little SR compared to the 427 cubes of big LS.
Aaron Dewar said this track is what this car's built for. 4th gear flat and hold it pinned, and that is what the S14's doing. Kurt Dunn with the SR20 powered S15 has just got to do everything he can to catch up at this point. But can Aaron Dewar drive behind another car? Now, Kurt Dunn doing double duties didn't change the setup. He's running a street tyre in both categories.
Here we go. Dwyer will have to try and get a bit of slow motion going on here, and he's not going to let him get too far away. He might even try not to go into that top gear for a moment. Kurt Dunn doing a nice job, though, staying on the judge line, making a really chaseable lead, which is what he needs to do, because if Aaron Dwyer makes a mistake, it gives him a big advantage. Switchback's nice from Kurt Dunn. There's a noticeable speed difference between the two cars, and Dwyer just puts it on the door through the final corner and tries to seal this win.
Very, very clear speed difference between a Pro-Am car that's doing double duties on a street tyre versus a car with a semi-slick. There's so much more forward momentum coming out of Dwyer's machine, but Kurt Dunn, very, very impressive driving in the lead position, hitting all the clipping points, doing everything he needs to do. A very, very solid run, but Dwyer is just there hassling him through the last corner.
Yeah, Kurt Dunn's got to be really happy about that one, like we say. Big weekend for him. But our next battle in the top 16 here for the Hi-Tec Oils Pro category. Philip Silk in the lead over Derek Newsom out of Sydney, New South Wales. Now, Silky, this is his local track. He loves to wind up the big LS, and look at the angle as he switches back into turn number 2. Little bit of a moment there. Sets the car up, just gets it positioned really nicely before he gets on the loud pedal. Switches back, and then it is accelerated to the firewall as he opens up a gap on Derek Newsom, and Newsom's been quick before, so I'm be interesting to see what's happening with the Newsom car there in the lead run.
We'll check out the Trias replay. Now, Silky's got quite a unique looking vehicle. If you've seen the front end of this machine, it's got a Subaru WRX front end. But look, it's got a big horsepower engine, and like you said, Matty, this is his home track. He was so cool and just in the groove all day and putting it in that outside zone, coming around the last corner, smoke show on and over the finish line. Hopefully Derek Newsom can put something down for him to chase.
Silky's definitely got a few fans here in the Queensland crowd, but here we go. Derek Newsom in the lead run, and it looks like some sort of issue. I suspected that because I've seen Newsom a lot quicker before. He manages to get back into the drift, but I think it's over from here. If we're not going to get the entry right, it's going to be a major deduction, and Philip Silk won't need to do anything. He's already laid down a really nice lead run, and the car locks up there, and that is a shame for Derek Newsom, because we know he's been working on the car since the last round, and we've definitely seen some really good moments from him throughout the series. Yeah,
look, it's such a shame to go out that way. You just don't want to have your machinery let you down on competition day, and he's been driving so well in practice and qualifying. We'll check out the Trias replay, but yeah, look, not getting the first initiation at turn 1, and then you can see he's on the gas, but here when he switches back, he knows there's something wrong. He's on the foot brake. Silky's just going to get the win purely from a mechanical perspective. It's never really the way you want to win, but look, at this level of drifting, you'll take whatever you can get.
So Philip Silk at his home track will move on to the top 8 in the Hi-Tec Oils Pro category. Our next one in the top 16, though, Roger Anson, who started really well at Winter Motor Raceway with a win, will take on Scott Shembry, who got on the podium last round. This one's going to be a great battle. Look at Roger Anson, sets the car up nicely, transitions back. Scott Shembry had a big moment on the brakes, so we had to pull the car up, and now the front bar hanging off. It's been in the wars this weekend, that car. Roger Anson, though, so clinical. Look at him drive this car through the final corner, lays down a really nice lead run there, and well, Scott Shembry earlier today had a little incident out there on track where the car suffered a whole heap of damage. He's lucky to even be out on track.
Yeah, look, the Hi-Tec Oils 350Z's looking a little bit second hand in this battle. Oh, there he had to get on the brake pretty rapidly. Roger Anson's just switched in front of him on the line, and Scott Shembry's such an aggressive chase driver. He had to hit the brakes to avoid another major incident, but Roger's just on line, nice and wide, getting over that finish line.
That was just like a little gentle peck on the cheek, I reckon. It wasn't really a moment. It was just a slight little touch there. We'll see how he goes. Roger Anson will now have to chase down Scott Shembry. He's going to be aggressive after. He's surely got a bit of anger in him, The blood is going to be pumping. I'm sure he's seeing red, just like the livery on that car. And now there is nothing to stop air going down those turbos in the front. The big horsepower LS in the 350Z. Look at it go. Goes through the little start. Roger Anson knows he's got to get on the gas early. Here we go. Wind up the power. Shembry's in for a big blaze here. Throws it in with massive angle and huge speed. He's got absolutely nothing to lose. And look at the aggression there. He is working the wheels. Switch back. And it is all smoke show. It's coming out of the front of the car. That's how much smoke he's making. Roger Anson, though, look at him. Cuts a little bit of the line and maintains that proximity. How is Roger doing this? Alongside Scott Shembry, who I think there might have got on the brake a little just to finish those tyres off.
Wow. So getting away from the start line, you can see on the in-car here from Roger's car that Scott Shembry was so sideways coming into turn 1. The switch back through turn 2, I don't know how Roger saw a single thing. Now, you're allowed to trim line just a little bit through the mid part of the track to close that proximity up, but Scott Shembry on the outside, judged line, on the loud pedal, and if he wasn't in that position, you wouldn't see a thing. There was that much tyre smoke.
Well, a couple of big V8s up next. Patrick Barley will lead us out in this Corvette over Chris Sadler in the chase, running the VE Commodore Ute. Now, Sadler, a local Queenslander as well, lives up and resides up this way. Patrick Barley now from Melbourne, Victoria, has made the trip up, but he's been here before, and look at him go. The speed of the Corvette, they just dial the grip into this car every time they can, and he's got to be in a lot of confidence. Last time he took the win in round number 3 down at Wyndham Motor Raceway, and he's come here looking for another podium.
Yeah, typical Patrick Barley style, cool, calm and collected through the mid part of the lap. Just driving his own lap, hitting all his clipping points and flat out on the throttle. Chris Sadler's doing everything he can in the Ute. There's a big difference in weight and power between these two cars, but let's see if Patrick can chase him down with the same level of aggression.
Oh, look at Chris Sadler. He has just thrown that car in the first corner. You know he doesn't have all the lock in the world, but he goes too wide, and dirt gets flicked up by the back of the Commodore Ute, and that's going to deduct some points of him. Barley just goes, you know what? I'm going to stick it to your door now. I am looking for a top 8. Remembering that Patrick Barley is just 25 points off the leader at the moment, sitting 3rd in the championship, so important he tries to make it through these rounds and get as many points as possible here as we check out the tries replay. A whole heap of dirt there. I think only one tyre though.
Yeah, look, you're going to lose points at this lap. It's strict that you need to stay on the black stuff. You're going to lose a couple of points in that position. But Patrick Barley is just hassling Chris Sadler right there on his door. And that's putting a lot of pressure on Chris to be able to put down his lap. And look, that's a commanding drive from Patrick Barley in the chase.
All right, we'll move on to our next battle. It's going to be James Abbott in Nigella, the Hi-Tec Oils S15, taking on Saxon Moyes in a borrowed car. And for this young champion just to come in and change cars after qualifying and do what he has done and make it into the top 16 is super impressive. But look at James Abbott. Where has he pulled this from? He's such a relaxed guy, and look at the aggression in the style of driving he's got out through the final corner. Saxon Moyes really has to cut the line to maintain that proximity.
Absolutely impressive lap from Saxon Moyes. I'm going to give him credit. He's only done a few laps in this car to hop in someone else's car and to chase that close. But Jabbett in the lead position. Hi-Tec Oils Blaze Unit Machine doing exactly that. 2JZ power on song, and just a fantastic battle between these two guys.
What a matchup of cars, really, isn't it? Similar cars, same power plants, all that. Look at Saxon Moyes, though, not afraid in the lead run to really throw it down the Link ECU 15, but he goes wide, and there's dirt and rocks thrown up in the air, and James Abbott now will just tuck himself nicely into turn number 2, and Saxon Moyes, he's unfamiliar in this car, and he doesn't look uncomfortable, but it's definitely not the comfort zone that he's used to from the GT86, so James Abbott just puts it right on the door, and I think that little mistake there from Saxon Moyes going a little bit too quick in that first corner and going wide is probably going to seal the deal on this one.
Yeah, just pushing really, really hard on the lap. He knows that he's got James Abbott behind him. He knows that he's got to push. And look, absolute credit to Saxon. Drove very, very well, but those couple of mistakes will be enough that the judges will make the call that, hey, you've just a little bit off the line there.
Well, I'd love to know what's going through James Abbott's mind. We'll have to wait and find out. Let's have a look. Jordan Sanderson leading our championship at the moment as he throws the big Ute in. Benny Meir in the chase position. Great to see him in the top 16 as well. And look at the smoke show from Jordan Sanderson. The VE Ute goes through turn number 2. He's got it nice in the sweet spot there too. It flows through there into the final corner, and Benny Meir is doing everything he can, but he can't catch it. I just don't know how they get so much grip out of that Commodore Ute. I know the back of it's all cut out, custom suspension, but they've been doing a lot of work on this car recently.
It's a serious car with a serious transplanted engine. So this is the new power plan to have the wick turned up a little bit, and that is the result. Look at how fast and how gripped up that VE Ute is. Benny Meir just lost in the smoke there and just got driven away from. But now let's switch him around. Let Benny Meir lead out.
Meir has absolutely nothing to lose. He's up against championship leader Jordan Sanderson. Will Sanderson chase him down? Looks like an issue there for Sanderson because he's opened up a big gap. Meir, look at him driving the wheels off the car as he opens up nicely. Transitions back in the 311 Motorsport car. Nice through turn number 2, and Jordan Sanderson did not look this uncomfortable in his lead run. He is trying everything to stay with Mir, and Mir is on the loud pedal through the final corner. Big straight in there from Jordan Sanderson. There's going to be a whole heap of deductions, I think, in that chase run. So this one's going to be tight. We'll check out the Tri-Ace replay.
Yeah, looks Benny Mears under control. He gets through turn 1 really cleanly. Jordan Sanderson is working the car. You can see there, corrections after turn 1. It looked resettled again through turn 2, but then just struggling to maintain the drift. A bit of a straighten around the last corner. And look, it's just a little bit uncharacteristic. There must be something going on with that VE Ute. Just wasn't able to maintain the drift.
What a scalp it was for Benny Mears to get the win over Jordan Sanderson. Serious championship implications. Do not go anywhere though, because after the break, we've got the top 8 from the Hi-Tec Oils Pro Series.
Aye. Aye.
Welcome back to round number 4 of the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars series from Queensland Raceway. We've gone through the battles of the Hi-Tec Oils Pro category top 16, and we are down to the top 8 now. Brody Maher will take on Mark McTurnan. Aaron Dwyer will take on Philip Silk. Then Roger Ansell will battle it out with Patrick Barley, and James Abbott will take on the giant slayer Benny Mears, who took out our championship leader Jordan Sanderson in the top 16. Let's check this one out, Tony. This one's going to be super exciting.
Here we go. Aaron Dwyer against Philip Silk. The Silky man is going to be in the chase. Dabs in the lead. 1, 2, 3, 4th gear and blaze into turn 1. Grabs a bit of handbrake, steadies the car up. Philip Silk just getting in that second position, trying to play catch up. I think Dwyer just got away a little bit off the line, and Silky's just got to do everything he can to catch up. But Aaron Dwyer looking really in control in that lead position, hitting those outside zones on the final corner. Smoke show is on and over the finish line.
Look at the arms over the fence. I love Aaron Dwyer. The big mullet, the huge tyre smoke. He is loved everywhere he goes. We'll check out the Tri-Ace replay here. Turn number 1, nice and smooth from Aaron Dwyer as he really powers through there. Silky just using his muscle memory, being a local here of this track, to make his way through the tyre smoke. He wasn't on a whole lot of angle going through turn number 2, and it's going to be a massive advantage for Aaron Dwyer in this lead run. But Philip Silk now gets to get his moment. He's comfortable in the lead run. Check this one out. Huge angle in the turn number 1.
Looks like Silky's only got a tiny little bit of contact patch on the front wheel. The car is squatting and it's leaning in, and he's powering away from Aaron Dwyer. Dwyer's now got to play catch up in the chase. Switchback coming through turn 3. Big aggressive switch on the loud pedal. These guys are doing similar laps in their lead position. What a fantastic battle between these two guys. And they're going down the front straight as well.
Aaron Dwyer does not need to be told twice, especially if Silky lays down that challenge. He goes, you know what? We're going to finish these tyres off. We haven't even spoken about the tyre wear here at Queensland yet. But look at Silky. He is so much more comfortable in that lead position, and it almost mimics what Aaron Dwyer did when he was leading. So for the judges, this one's going to be a really tough call. Now, I just mentioned before the tyre wear. They are getting a battle out of this. They're getting a lead in a chase run, and they're going to have to change tyres. That's how much they're going through these pro cars with the amount of wheel spin. And no surprise, one more time, Tony.
Couldn't pick it between the two, so let's send them again. Aaron Dwyer in the lead, grabbing a handbrake, steadying the car through turn number 1. But Philip Silk is right there beside him. The smoke cog is on. 4th gear blazing through the mid part of the track, but Silky's a lot closer this time. Big angle through the mid part of the track. Does need to make a correction though. The judges hopefully were able to see that, make a call on that. Aaron Dwyer in the lead and over the finish line. Smoke show is on.
Yeah, I think that first half of the battle, Philip Silk did a really nice job. We'll check out the Tri-Ace replay and go, just look at the wheel, making daylight under it there for Aaron Dwyer. It's gripped up as well. He transitions back nicely there. Gets it set up, and a lot of angle there from Silk, and he has to do a little correction here. Aaron Dwyer, because see, he's got a wheel over the inside of the ripple strip too, so he didn't allow a lot of room on that final corner, and Silky goes a little bit wide, caught up in the tyre smoke. So there's a couple of little errors there, and they're really going to have to look at that, the judges, because they can't keep sending them one more time. Silky right out wide, takes out the clipping zone, but the wheels down to Bitumen. Dwyer has gone past him.
He's gone around him. Now, we've got to check the regulations here. You're not supposed to make an overtake. You're supposed to use that front car as your mobile clipping point. You've got to stay right there in the pocket. Was he predicting Philip Silk to run off the track after he saw the clipping zone come off? Hard to say, but you're supposed to just pull out of the drift and just stay behind. We'll have another look at it on the Trias replay. Bang, there. That is well off the track from Philip Silk, but Dewars not supposed to go around. I just don't know how the judges are going to call it.
Well, he's off the line on the track, but he's not out on the dirt, so he's still maintaining the drift. He's still out there. Well, look, contentious one there, but I think Philip Silk's going to get the win over Aaron Dewars. You check it out. Brody Maher taking on Mark McTurnan, and Maher, well, he's in the zone this weekend again, isn't he? And after Glenn Omrod putting up a really tough fight, I think Brody Maher's really going to have to just put the blinkers on and do what he does best and have a look at this lead run. He's online again. It is muscle memory for him. He has done a heap of laps here this weekend, and Mark McTurnan has to cut all that inside ripple strip to try and maintain that proximity. That car is so fast to Brody Maher's.
Really commanding run. We'll check out the Trias replay. Here it is in the ACL Race Series. S13 Sylvia, switch back, and it's such an aggressive switch. Catches it, and then flat out down the hill. The front wheel comes off the ground. You can see the inside wheel of Brody Maher's in the air, the amount of grip and power that this car has. But take nothing away from Mark McTurnan. He's doing a really good job to play catch-up on such a fast S13.
Well, he's battling the current champion here of the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars series. So, this is a big scalp to take. Mark McTurnan's got a lot of work cut out for him, but he's in the lead run and looking so much more comfortable. Look at the car, sets himself up nicely, transitions back, but he goes a little bit wide. Brody Maher has to pull up, and McTurnan is very tight coming out of that turn number 2. Maher takes a bit of grass, using him as a mobile clipping point, and whoa, look at Brody. He's really struggling to slow the car down and emulate the car in front. I think there's going to be a few points go towards Brody Maher in the chase position here.
Yeah, look, the line is absolutely critical at this track. If you cut too tight on the line or you close the door on the chase driver, you just give them nowhere to go. So Mark McTurnan in the lead. It looks like he's just cut the line through the mid part of the track, allowing no room for Brody in the second half. The judges will make their call on that one.
Well, here we go. James Abbott taking on Ben Meir. And look what Ben Meir did last time. He got the win over Jordan Sanderson. Can he get another big scalp as well? James Abbott right up there in the championship at the moment as well. He is fighting to get in there. And look at the smoke show he's putting on. He has opened up a hole. He get the speed from this car this weekend. I know that they've had moments throughout the series, but it really looks dialed in at Queensland Raceway, and the 2J is loving the wide open throttle and the big flowy corners we've got set up.
Yeah, we'll check out the Trias replay again. I was going to say that Benny Meir has been on fire this weekend, but look at James Abbott driving like a man possessed, hitting all of the outside zones exactly where he needs to do, and he just had so much grip and forward momentum that Benny Meir, he's not a slow driver, but he just got driven away from. Now we'll get a chance to turn them around, and let's see the battling power of James Abbott in the chase position.
I love the message there on Benny Meir's dash. Be ruthless, and here we go in the lead run. That's what he needs to be, and the car is right out wide, but it's on the bitumen. Transitions back in the 311 Motorsport car, and look at the smoke show he's putting on. Nice through there. Maintains that angle. Really, really smooth driver, Benny Meir, but James Abbott is right on the door, and there is not much gap between them, and James Abbott has a big advantage in the chase position for me.
Wow, what a dominant chase from James Abbott. Benny Meir's just given him an awesome lead run to chase, and that's the important part of this as well. The chase driver's only going to look that good if the lead car's doing everything he needs to do, but you cannot go past James Abbott this weekend. He is on fire, and he's right there on the door. You can nearly reach out and touch Benny Meir's rear quarter panel. That is impressive drifting.
Well, there is only one more battle in this Hi-Tec Oils Pro category top 8, but breaking news from down in the pits. Let's head down to Tony.
Yeah, guys, thank you. I'm here with Roger Ianson from South Australia. Pulled the pin for today, mate. What's happened with the car?
Yeah, so right at the end of that last run with Shembry, we threw a fan belt. So we got her back in the pits, fixed her up. It did get a bit hot at the end because obviously it wasn't spinning the water pump. Got it all back up, put it back together, and then the car won't fire. So we'll check spark, we'll check fuel. Not actually sure what's wrong. We think the computer's sort of tricked itself and still thinks the engine's hot. So yeah, she's not firing.
Devastating news there for Roger Ianson. Mechanical issues, and we know how good he started the series off, and he's had to battle through that, and he's Had a couple of bad rounds, but he looked like he was coming back into this top 8 here at the Hi-Tec Drift All-Star Series. But that sets our top 4 now. And have a look at this. Brodie Maher will take on the local legend Philip Silk, and Patrick Barley takes on James Abbott. These are going to be some insane battles coming your way here in the Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars Series. And let's get underway. Let's not wait any longer. James Abbott leading out over Patrick Barley.
Patrick Barley in the chase. Let's see how close he can get. James Abbott has been so fast this weekend. Really solid setup for turn 1 on the loud pedal. Perfect line on the outside there. Patrick Barley just sitting right behind. Switchback through the smoke, through the mid part of the lap. Looking pretty good. No corrections. Both drivers, similar proximity. Final switch in the loud outside zone. Loud pedal on. Both drivers going over the finish line. Looking reasonably good. Let's see what happens when we spin them around.
Patrick Barley is leaving no stone unturned here. He is going to push James Abbott all the way. Look at him. It doesn't even sound like he's using every bit of RPM in that 434 cube V8. Look at him right alongside. The anti-lag on the 2J does not faze me at all as he just feathers the throttle, puts the car where he wants to go. They've really got that car dialed in the chase position. But what can he do in the lead? You know, you've really got to control yourself here. Sometimes you go a little bit too quick. Look at the angle in the turn 1. I think he's a little bit shallow maybe though as he throws it in there, which gives James Abbott the moment just to set the car up on the outside and flow it. They transition back. Patrick Barley sets the car up nicely. He can really recoup any sort of thing with this car. It's so well set up. And he goes through the final corner. It's all tyres blazing though. James Abbott right on the inside has the nose in there of Nigella, and well, they come onto the main straight, and this one's a judge's call.
Yeah, we can have a look here at turn 1. Patrick Barley's front wheels are nearly over the ripple strip, and the judge's criteria was at least a metre away from that, giving the chase driver enough. So that might be a pretty serious deduction there. Coming through the mid part of the lap, all looking pretty reasonable. Patrick does throw at a big angle, which does slow down the overall momentum. But James Abbott is predicting everything and just sitting right there side by side, and was closer at the last part of the lap.
Here we go, Brodie Maher taking on Philip Silk. What is going to come with this one? Can Philip Silk get himself a big name here? Brodie Maher, though, look at him go. The SR is up at over 9,000 RPM. He sets him up, and Silk straightens behind him. He maybe didn't quite read the initiation as Brodie Maher came back this time. I'm not quite sure. Brodie Maher right on the outer clipping zone. Did you ever deny it? And Silk gets sucked in. He tries to maintain that proximity, goes too wide, and he is out in the gravel. That is very unfortunate for Philip Silk.
Brodie Maher on the Trice replay. It looks like the same lap that he's played all day. He's just very consistent driver. The big switch back through on the last corner, and it looks like Phillips just had to avoid the incident, and he's had to run wide. Wow, that's such an unfortunate thing. We're battling right through to the top 4. And look, Philip Silk's been great all day, but that error, unfortunately, is going to be a big deduction.
Here we go. He's going to lead us out, though, this time. Can he get some redemption? Can he cause an issue there from Brodie Maher? We'll have to wait and find out. Into turn number 2. Silk doing a nice job. Doesn't hold a whole heap of angle this time. It's a nice, smoothed angle. And Brodie Maher actually goes a little bit wide out into the pebbles there, but he manages to pull the car back in. And Silk with a beautiful line there in the lead run. That was a really strong drift there. I think Brodie Maher may not have made as many errors, though, in the chase position, which could be a big advantage.
Look, a massive shout out to Philip Silk there. He's come off the back of an error. Look, he knows he's run wide. He's got to put down an absolute dynamite lead run, and he has done just that. But Brodie Maher just so strong, be able to sit right there in the pocket. What an impressive battle.
The action is heating up here at Queensland Raceway, the penultimate round of the Hi-Tec Drift All-Star Series. Don't go anywhere, because our top 4 coming your way shortly. Welcome back to the Hi-Tec Drift All-Star Series. We're up in Queensland Raceway for round number 4, and it is our penultimate round. Huge championship implications, and let's check it out. We battled it out in the Zoo Performance Pro-Am category, and we've got it down to 4 names, and they are going to have to go against each other to see who's going to be on the podium. Let's have a look at our Zoo Performance Pro-Am battle tree now to see who's going to take on who.
We have a battle of the Irishmen. Sean Mickelhatton goes up against Colm Keogh for 3rd place. And for our final, Kurt Dunn is going to take on Kieran Ratcliffe. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd place battle. Colm Keogh on the left of screen up against Sean Michelhatton in the 180SX on the right of screen. Sean Michelhatton in the lead, sets up for the initiation into turn one. There it is, steady, handbrake on, really solid outside line. Very nice outside line from Sean Michelhatton. Colm Keogh just sitting there, a couple of car lengths away. Let's see if he can close the door and play catch up. Sean Michelhatton running through the mid part of the track, really solid, no corrections on that front steering. Switch back through under the last corner, looking really, really strong in that lead position. Colm Keogh's got a bit of work to do when we switch it around.
I think Sean Michelhatton might just have a little bit more horsepower under that right foot. We'll check out the Tri-Ace replay. You can see he opens up a nice gap from then on, though. Colm Keogh does a really nice job. Flows that little 86 through the corners. Doesn't really do anything wrong. It's just he lost that proximity early in the battle. But now he's going to lead out, and we'll see what Colm can do. He throws it in, sets it up nicely. Those wheels look so tiny on that car, and they are screaming as he goes through turn number one. He cuts it a little bit fine going into that corner, unfortunately. Transitions back nicely, though. He's keeping the flow going through this middle section of the drift. Not a lot of angle there. He just keeps the momentum of the car. Doesn't want to slow it down. He's a big guy and he's steering this car everywhere he wants now. But look at Sean Michelhatton right up alongside, door to door through the final corner. Wow, what a lead run there from Colm Keogh. Really kept the flow of the car. A little bit shallow in that first corner, but then you watch Colm Keogh, he keeps the car back on line, then manages to steer it in the position he wants, gives a great opportunity for Sean Michelhatton to put a really great chase run on.
Yeah, it was a really impressive battle. That car is a build that's only really just been completed, so it's the first main competition for that car. He's done a great job to get to that point.
Well, Kurt Dunn in both categories here this weekend, which means he's had a lot of driving time, and we haven't seen him at all the rounds. He's had some mechanical issues, he's had some other motorsport commitments, but Kieran Ratcliffe second in the championship coming to this one. He's got to chase down Jordan Sanderson, and this is a great opportunity for him. Kieran Ratcliffe, nice and clinical, throws it in the corner, not a lot of angle, but it keeps the speed of the car, but Kurt Dunn is right there. The sun is shining off that livery. Look at it as they go through. Kurt Dunn trying to get that proximity now through the middle. Kieran Ratcliffe doing a really nice job flowing the car side to side, gets it through the final corner. They're on the speed, and Kurt Dunn closes up alongside. No, he's got someone in his ear, I think, who's really pushing him to get against Kieran Ratcliffe and apply that pressure.
Let's check out the Tri-Ace replay. Kieran Ratcliffe in the lead, really steady into turn one, making sure that he's hitting all of the judge lines, putting down a really impressive lead run because he wants the chance to chase aggressively in the second part of the battle, but take nothing away from Kurt Dunn. SR20 power flowing through the mid part of the track and then on the loud pedal coming over the last part of the course and over the finish line. Really, really impressive driving for both of these guys.
Yeah, Kurt's got a lot of work to do. Kieran Ratcliffe, there's no doubt of why he's in second position in the championship. Really good driver. He's been super consistent out there throughout the rounds. But look at Kurt Dunn. He takes off and opens up a massive gap.
Absolutely dominant. He came out with fire in his belly in this last lap. He knew he's got to put it all on the line to win it, and he wants to make his lead run as dominant as possible. And look at Kurt Dunn flying through the mid part of the track, in control of the car. The steering, virtually no corrections. Really confident in his lap, and Kieran Ratcliffe has had to play catch up massively through that lap. Wow, what an impressive final from both of these guys.
Yeah, has that catch-up hurt Kieran Ratcliffe when it comes down to the judging criteria? We'll check out the Tri-Ace replay, and it was a massive gap opened up by Kurt Dunn. I'm not quite sure what let him get away or whether he really just wanted to get out of the chute as fast as possible and apply that pressure. Now, Kieran Ratcliffe there, a lot of angle through that middle section, but he manages to tighten it up, sacrifices a little bit of line there, manages to regroup and get that proximity over the final corner, but has he done enough to get the win? We're going to have to wait and find out. Let's head down to Tony at our podium right now.
In third place, battled valiantly all day, Sean Michelhatton. Get on in here, mate. Very well done. Awesome stuff. Hey, the Irish. Where are the Irish fans out here? Good stuff, mate. Talk us through your day. What an awesome result.
Yeah, bit of a hectic day, but we battled through, got to the podium. Just a shout out to Derek for spotting, Ian Porter for setting the car up. The car is running amazing now, so couldn't be happier.
This may have been one of our closest Pro-Am battles right to the very end. In second position, we have Kieran Ratcliffe. Well done. Wow. Mate, very well done. Well driven all day. Talk us through your day. How did you go?
This weekend's been mad. We've chewed through 20 plus tyres, heaps of practice. It's just been on song all day as per usual.
Kieran Racklift, very well done in P2. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, round 4 winner, Zoo Performance Pro-Am category, Mr. Kurt Dunn. Very well done. Yeah. SR20, baby. All right. Mate, absolutely awesome driving today. You look cool, calm and collected as the day's gone on, but talk us through, how do you feel?
Beyond words, can't explain it from where I was last year. Sitting on the start line, doing start line, helping George and the crew myself, to now being on top step of the podium within a year was not bad when I've never competed before, so can't be any more happy. I can't thank my dad, Dan Mack and Ed from EKZ. Without them today, the car just ran flawlessly on the laptop, changing tyres, and I probably got the best spotter you can buy, so can't complain.
Very, very well done. Massive shout out to your team, and take that top step, well deserved.
It's going to take days to wipe the smile off Kurt Dunn's face. Have a look at that. Stands on the top step of the podium. Big congratulations to our top 3. Sean Mickelhatton in 3rd. Kieran Ratcliffe will now go in front in the championship over Jordan Sampson, gets 2nd place at round number 4. And Kurt Dunn, though, gets a win in the Zoo Performance Pro-Am category here at the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars series from Queensland Raceway. But we've still got 2 battles to go in the Hi-Tec Oils Pro category, and this one's super exciting. Philip Silk will take on Patrick Barlew, who's in the championship fight, and then it's Brodie Marr, last year's winner, taking on James Abbott, who is just outside the top 3 in the championship. This is going to have huge implications going into our final round in Calder Park in a couple of months. But let's have a look at the battles. Find out who's going to be in 3rd place in the Hi-Tec Oils Pro category. Philip Silk going to lead us out over Patrick Barley.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The starter has set them going. This is for 3rd place. Philip Silk in the lead, clicking gears and throwing it down into turn 1. Steady on the handbrake, setting the car up really well. Outside line, car squats. Smoke show on. Patrick Barley still right there in the smoke. Emerges from the smoke on an aggressive dive through the mid part of the lap. Really steady. Philip Silk just a little bit on the inside, but I think it's enough. Patrick Barley right there. A couple of corrections and maybe too much of a correction. Coming around the last corner, it looked like he lost control of the steering, but Philip Silk in the lead, really dominant performance.
Let's check out the Tri-Ace replay, and Silk just sets himself up for that first corner really nicely. The car not moving around too much. And you see Patrick Barley needs to show that aggression, put the pressure on, puts the nose of the Corvette in through turn number 2 as they transition back. Here's what we want to have a look at. And Patrick Barley, you see him dab the foot brake for a moment there. I think that car is very gripped up. And Philip Silk, though, although he's kept his line and kept his speed by the looks of it from our angles, and Patrick Barley's just had that dive, had to pull up for a moment and might have caused a slight error. But let's move on. Patrick Barley in the lead.
Here we go. Patrick Barley in the lead this time. Working the wheel, steady through the second part. Here we go. Going for the dive. Philip Silk emerges from the smoke. Trimmed a little bit of line to play catch up. Let's see what this switch looks like. Through the smoke again. Philip Silk closing the door. Patrick Barley, full smoke show on the loud pedal over the lap. Is there enough? There's a couple of points in both laps. We'll check out the Tri-Ace replay, but there's a couple of points that the judge are going to be looking at.
And I think that's what we've got to talk about with the judging is at this level in the pro category, we're actually giving you a perfect score to start with, and now we're deducting away the small little mistakes they make. We're not looking for what they do right. We're looking for the things they do wrong, the little bobbles, the dab of the brakes, the slowing the car down, causing the chase car to not be able to follow, being too close to the inside ripple strip, things like that. And it's those little things that will deduct those points away and see who's going to be the winner. But it's the final here. James Abbott will be chasing down Brodie Marr, fighting back in this championship, but James Abbott doesn't want to let him take the win. He's had super aggression this weekend. We haven't seen it from Jabs for a while, and we throw it into the first corner. Brodie Marr really fast in the ACL Race Series S13, and look at him go. The smoke show's on. Where is James Abbott as they transition back? He's right there alongside him in 9th Nigella. They are side by side through turn number 2, and he goes wide though, a little bit wide in the 15, but he manages to pull it back. We saw that earlier. The marbles are out there, but the grip is dialed into both these cars, and they are almost side by side across the finish line.
This is just the first part of our final battle, and what an exciting half it is. Let's check out the Trias replay. Brodie Marr, as usual, really dialed, sets it into turn 1. Just a little bit out of line on the first apex, but okay through the second part. Wow, James Abbott so close in the chase on that first switch. Really settled through the mid part of the lap. James is allowed to trim a little bit of line there. Brodie's out nice and wide. James is right there with him, side by side. Brodie Marr giving him a little tap on the door saying, come and chase this, my brother.
Mate, that is a little bit of respect there, I think, because these guys have had some fireworks last year, and looks like they've put that aside. James Abbott will lead us out, though, and here we go. Sets himself up. First corner. Look at the speed, the wheels up in the air, high five in the inside of Brodie's car. Brodie has to really do some work, and this is the biggest challenge I think Brodie's had today so far, as James Abbott looking so comfortable. He's nice through turn number 2, the transition back, and the final corner. Brodie Marr is, well, he's not door to door as we have seen him with other drivers, so this one's a real fight. Now, in that first battle, I reckon there was contact on the back. Now, what are the judges going to think? Was it the transition back from Brodie Marr that caused that, or was it going to be James Abbott? We're really going to have to dissect this run as well to see if we can find any mistakes.
Look, it looks like on the Trias replay here, James Abbott very, very strong coming into turn 1. He's really wide. He's got a couple of car lengths on Brodie. The switchback's very solid. They're running through the mid part of the track. It's still all looking really good, but that difference of turn 1 between Brodie's lead and James's lead, I think that is going to play into James's hands. And look, a few car lengths at the end, that will probably play into James's hands a little bit as well.
I think the judges are discussing this at the moment. They cannot decide who is going to be the winner yet. We've got a little bit of a moment while they go over the cars, remembering they're only going to get one battle out of these tyres, a lead and a chase run. And there you go, one more time, we're going to send them again. It's what we love to see here in Queensland, a fight for the championship lead, and Brodie Marr will lead us out over James Abbott once again. Who will be the winner? Another clinical start to the drift as well as he goes through turn number 1. All the noise, 9,500 RPM of SR24 power, and here we go. James Abbott, though, doesn't let him drive away, doesn't go wide this time, and what a chase run from James Abbott.
Both drivers, fantastic run. Brodie's put down a really solid lead, allowing James all the opportunity to dominate in the chase position as well. Both drivers so fluid and so smooth, but so fast. I think Brodie seemed a little bit quicker on this one, but James has just taken it to him. If you've got a bit more, I've got a bit more as well. And look at that, side by side, coming around the last corner. Wow.
We've definitely saved the best battle for last, and here we go. It is a one more time, and this time James Abbott will lead us out. But the speed through turn number 1, can he hold on to this? He does. He manages to keep the car going. He doesn't dial on too much angle to slow it down either. Brodie Marr needs to work for this one. He's not taking the win easily. James Abbott nice through the second section, final corner. They are side by side, and wow, we saved the absolute best for last. And look at the crowd here and the crew up on the fence. They are absolutely loving this.
Turn 1 was so fast from James Abbott. You look at him go through the course, and look, no dirt drops. He kept it on the black stuff, and just so much speed. The flick back here, Brodie's still there, but it's a couple of car lengths away through the mid part of the lap. Both of these guys pushing so hard for the final battle. This is what a rerun is all about. This is what a one more time is all about. Awesome driving.
The judges will deliberate over this one, and look at them. It looks like they've got a decision down there. Now they got the decision. We need to find out who is it that got the win for third place, and who will it be between James Abbott and Brodie Marr as they shake hands. They don't even know. Let's head down to Tony, though, at the podium.
Oh, guys, what an absolutely epic day. Congratulations to our Pro-Am category, but it is all business right now. There's the Hi-Tec Drift Allstars Championship Series, round 4. In third place, Mr. Silky Smooth Phillips Sil, come on forward. Third place today. Grab your check and trophy. Mate, when I spoke to you earlier today, you were just very happy to just come out, drive some laps, have a good day, and it looks like, you know, that cool attitude has come through and made third place. So talk us through your day.
Oh, look, mate, you know, like I said, I was just here to have some fun. You know, if you get a trophy at the end, you know, it's a bonus. But, hey, I got one!
In position number 2, round 4, Brodie Marr from Tasmania. Mate, what can I say? You guys were battling just incredible driving. It must have been the smallest of margins between the two of you, but I can tell you what, it's been such amazing to have you here. Amazing battling today. Mate, give us your emotion. Tell us what you're about.
I think that's what we should have done last year. Obviously, it didn't go to plan, but that was like a tight final. You know, every lap was 100%. I was just sending it, having so much fun out there. It was so good to just put so much trust in Jabs and just, yeah, drive 110%.
Brodie Marr, which means number 1 position today, Mr. James Abbott. Come on forward from the police unit, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Jabs, I haven't spoken to you all day, but every time I walked past that pit, you just looked cool, under control. Is that a true feeling of your day, or how have you gone? Talk us through your day.
Yeah, to be honest, since the second I got here, I just felt super comfortable in the car. The team's prepared an awesome car, and from the first lap out, I kind of just felt comfortable and relaxed, and there's no heartbeat going up in these battles. It's just like, just do the lap, and got us to here.
Absolutely amazing. If only you could have experienced the pit wall like we all were. It was absolutely electric, through the rerun and then through the win. It must have been the smallest margin, but you absolutely deserve to be on the top step today. Very well done. Anyone you need to thank for being here?
Yeah, of course, Hi-Tec Oils for, first of all, running an event that we all get the opportunity to drive at. They're few and far between now, and what the team do for us and provide us with this opportunity for everyone here, but especially for me, supporting me in the car and sticking with me. We've had a bit of a rough run. It's been a while since the top step, and the support they give us, it makes it all possible, and we have so much fun doing it.
Mate, absolutely fantastic words. Take your top step on the podium today. Oh my God.
Well, James Abbott, he's been in 4th position in the first 2 rounds of this series, but finally up on a podium, and it moves him into the number 1 spot in the championship by a slim 6 points over Brodie Marr. It's going to be a real fight to the finish for the 2023 season of the Hi-Tec Drift All-Stars Series. Do not miss any of it. We head down to Calder Park Raceway in Melbourne, Victoria on the 4th and 5th of November, and it is going to be a fight down to the final battle. Make sure you get your tickets. We'll see you there.